like a toddler, I want to have a tantrum, but I don't want to read the end. Hello everybody, my name is Izzy and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a reading vlog of a very highly anticipated book of mine, which is of course ALCHEMISED by Senlinyu. She is a thick book. She's 1,000 pages long. ALCHEMISED is a dark fantasy set in a post-war world where the female main character has lost a huge chunk of her memories from the war, and the High Reeve, so a really powerful member of the winning side, has been tasked with uncovering her memories. That's the basic premise of the book. It is important for me to preface that I have read Manacled, which for those of you who don't know is the fan fiction that this book is based off of. Very famous fan fiction for those who know it, and then Senlinyu decided to traditionally publish this book, and that is what ALCHEMISED is. So the basic plot and storyline, I believe, is the same, but it's set in a completely different world, and I think there are some tweaks. I've read Manacled twice. I think the first time I read it was 2021 time, and then I read it again actually last February, so quite recently. So it's one of my favourites. It's a 5-star read for me, so I really don't have that much doubt that this book is going to be phenomenal. I'm just so excited to get into it. It's my first day off work in 7 days, like in a week, and I'm so excited. I plan on reading all of tonight and all of tomorrow. I've got my pumpkin mug, I just got her, and I'm gonna go downstairs and start reading. So let's go. Okay, so I'm about 200 pages into the book so far, and I thought I'd just give a little update about my thoughts. So basically what's happened so far, our female main character Helena has been given to our male main character Kane. He's tasked with unveiling these memories that she is hidden, and that's like the portion I'm still in. Thoughts so far, the world is really detailed. There are points where like I didn't really understand what was going on for quite a bit. I had to watch TikTok to explain the magic system because I was so confused. I just didn't know what was going on. But it is detailed, and it's impressive how detailed it is, and I'm not great at like picking up all the details of stories. The good side, the eternal flame, they believe that necromancy, which is like controlling the dead, is like corrupted magic basically, or corrupted resonance. But Helena, our female main character, is a vivomancer. She's a healer, so she controls the body, but she just uses it for good, which I think is really interesting because the good side, the eternal flame, their beliefs are basically completely against everything that Helena is. Adds an interesting twist to it because it's not like she's fighting for beliefs that she really believes in. I mean, we haven't got to part 2 yet. We don't know anything from the war, but like just based off this information, it's interesting because she's not fighting for what she believes in, because what the good side believes in is against her own magic, her own resonance, you know, her own abilities. And I wonder how that will manifest when in part 2, like when we start learning about what's actually going on in the war. I do feel like first part is dragging on a little bit. We're not getting much more information. I'd say it's a bit slow. She's just living out her life without any memories in imprisonment. Anyway, those are my thoughts so far. I really want to get to the flashbacks by the end of tonight. I have like less than 100 pages to go. Alright, I'm nearing the start of the flashbacks, I believe. I think I'm about 40 pages away, so I'm gonna go. I prepared earlier and I got myself some snacks because I knew I was going to be staying up reading tonight. So I'm gonna go get my snacks. I'm gonna go make myself another cup of tea, and then we're gonna carry on reading. Let's go. Okay, so let's talk Alchemized. I'm over halfway through, but I'm like bang on basically halfway. We've got to the flashbacks now, and I've got to say it picks up so much from when you reach the flashbacks, and it also gets so much more painful and sad and bittersweet. And for the first time in my life, I never normally tab books just because I never really feel the need, but this is the first book where I was like, oh, I've got to tab that. At the end, I'm going to go through all of the things that I've tabbed. The lines, the quotes that really tugs at my heartstrings, because boy, do they tug. Oh my gosh. It's just so well written, and it's painful, and it angers you, and it's not a happy story. And there's so much sacrifice, and there's so much pain. You just sympathise so much for Helena, and Senlynyu has just done an absolutely amazing job with it. At the point I'm at right now, Helena and Cain, they've had their first kiss, but there's just no trust. You learn that the eternal flame, they aren't really all that they're made out to be. Helena's fighting for the love of her friend. Like, she's fighting this war because she loves Luke. And you know that they're not winning, really. I mean, it's like equal right now, but they're not winning. Obviously, you know they haven't won because of the first part, and that's like more painful, because you know that all this that Helena's sacrificing and that she's doing, and nobody knows the sacrifice that she's making. She's doing all this for Luke, and oh, how much it angers me when she can't be seen with Luke, or she can't be talking to Luke, because she knows that she's gonna get told off and get pulled away, and she's compromising his image. It's so painful because she's just sacrificing again and again and again. And you know, because of the two perspectives, you know that it was all for nothing. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm flying through it. I have the weekend off work now, so I just plan on sitting and reading this. I don't know if I'm going to get it all the way finished because it is a hefty book and I'm only halfway through. Okay, let's talk. I am 700 pages into this book. So at the point I'm in right now, Cain and Helena, they've acknowledged they care about each other, and Cain's now making it very clear that he cares for Helena. When you learn Cain's backstory, it adds a lot to who he is, and then you don't see him for being such a monster. You understand him a bit more. He tries to see Helena as his way to avenge his mother. So he's trying to protect her and he's trying to save her. And it is just so much more painful because you already know that he fails. We've had that preview. Helena doesn't remember anything. She's trapped. Moro has won. The eternal flame lost. He didn't protect her, you know. It pulls at your heartstrings because you have this foresight that you know things are going to go wrong and you just don't know when. And it's like you're waiting on the edge of a cliff, waiting to fall because you don't know when it's going to go wrong. So you're reading this and you're watching them fall in love, and you know your hopes are building. You just don't know when you're gonna take that step and fall and everything's gonna go wrong. And it is such an emotional roller coaster, and I think that's what makes the book so beautiful and so painful. Just going back to when the first time I read Manacled, I just didn't get it. I mean, one, I was younger, but two, I was reading it because I wanted a romance, and this book is not a romance. It is far from it. It is the most tragic love story there ever was, and I just couldn't appreciate it at the time because I was reading it for romance. Manacled and then also Alchemized, this is not a romance, and you cannot go into it wanting a romance because you're not going to get it, and you're just going to be disappointed, and you're not going to understand the full extent of this book. I really don't want to leave the flashbacks because right now everything is good and you just know you have to fall forward into the present day where everything goes bad. Oh, it's so painful. I just don't even want to do it. It's like, I'm like a toddler, I want to have a tantrum. Like, I don't want to read the end. I just want to stay right here where it's happy, where it's good. I mean, it's not happy, it's not even happy. Stay right now where it's the happiest it is, the happiest it can be. It's just dread. Like, dread is clutching at my heart right now and it's like squeezing it. I just know things are gonna go wrong. Ugh. I'm almost at the end of part 2. I have about 40 pages to go and it's starting to go bad. It's starting to go bad. The war is almost over. Luke has just died. That was so sad. The way that he didn't actually care about Helena and the necromancy and it had all been Cetus. The way that he acknowledged, "You've always done the worst things because of me." She should have known. She should have known Luke better enough to know he wouldn't turn on her like that. He was too faithful. It's painful, guys. It's very painful. The way that she's promising that she'll leave if they just get Lila out. And you know, because she gets caught, that things go wrong. It's like a ticking time bomb. It's just you're waiting because you know something is going to go wrong and you're just painfully waiting. It's just so painful. He's blown his cover getting Lila out for Helena. Oh, it's just this like sad goodbye. You know, he's trying to say goodbye. Oh, this is brutal. Oh. We had a good run, but we were never going to last. Bro. The fact that he chooses her over everyone, but she still chooses the eternal flame over him every time. She hasn't said I love you. And he's going, and she is going to do something and get captured. There's only one way this story can go. Oh my god. This book is gonna fucking kill me. If I don't come back, if you ever seen Kane, tell him that her head dropped down, she quickly brushed her fingertips across her cheeks, she cleared her voice and shook her head. Never mind, I imagine he knows. I just can't, it's gonna go wrong, it's gonna go wrong. Okay guys, I've made it to part 3. We're nearing the end. Okay guys, I'm on page 907 and there are 1024 pages, so I have about 120 pages left of this book, so let's finish it. Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Ignore my state. I'm in my pajamas, but I have one chapter and an epilogue left, so let's finish it. Epilogue time. I'm not ready. She was a non-active member of the Order of the Eternal Flame and did not fight. Guys, ALCHEMISED finished. Oh, debrief in the morning. I can't. I need to go to bed. And that is ALCHEMISED finished. Oh my gosh, I have my tea and we're gonna sit and we're gonna debrief because, oh my gosh, it's the next day, all day to think and just collect my thoughts. So let's talk ALCHEMISED. So let's start with the rating. I rate this 5 stars, 6 stars actually. Like, this is a 6-star read. This is a top read. It is so good. Obviously I have read Manacled, so I did know the ending, and the ending was pretty much the same. It wasn't an unexpected ending, but it was still absolutely gut-wrenching. That final line, she was a non-active member of the Order of the Eternal Flame and did not fight. I was thinking while I was working, this book is rumoured to be being made into a film, and I was just imagining like how chilling that ending is going to be. What is it, Enid? Older, going to the academy, and the final line of the movie just being, she was a non-active member of the Eternal Flame and did not fight. That would have to be the final line. No other way to end it. And everyone who hasn't read the books would just be absolutely gut-wrenched like we were when we read it, because oh my gosh, I've never tabbed a book before. I was like, I actually have to tab it. I was like compelled. I was like, I have to, because there are just so many points, especially the parallels between the present day and the flashbacks. Like the parallels, it's just so painful. There are certain parts when they're having the same conversation 14 months apart, and Helena doesn't know that they've had the conversation before and Kane does, and it's just, that kind of is testament enough to what this book is like, the fact that I needed to tab it. It's such a painful ending, the fact they never get any recognition. I love the fact that Kane becomes so adoring of Enid. I really like that detail. Another point I wanted to talk about is that now that I've finished, I know I've brought it up before about the fact that people are saying not to compare Manacled and ALCHEMISED, but again, my personal opinion is I don't necessarily think that's fair, because as I've said, they are the same story reworked. So like, people saying treat them as two completely different pieces. I feel like they're almost like twins, you know? They're not the same, but they come from the same, like, they're the same bones of the story. But anyway, when I first started reading this, I was like, all I could read it as was Manacled, just in a different form. So I found it quite difficult to adjust to the world, and I found it difficult when there were plot changes and things like that, or when things weren't exactly, because I was just trying to read Manacled. I was worried I wasn't going to enjoy this book as much if I was just constantly reading it as Manacled. But once you get into it a bit, and especially when it gets to the flashback, I really got immersed into the story and I didn't struggle with that anymore. You just got so immersed, I stopped comparing them, which I'm glad about, because I could enjoy it for what it was. Senlynyu is an absolutely amazing author. They're so talented. Honestly, you just get swept away, and it's painful and it's heartbreaking and it's gut-wrenching. I really like the way that neither sides were good, and especially during the flashbacks and towards the end of the flashbacks, you really saw that the good side weren't the good side. It was almost the lesser of two evils. Helena was more fighting because she loved Luke so much. That was a really strong moving point, you know. She didn't actually believe, in fact, what they believed in was against who she was. And you just get so annoyed. Crowther and Ilva, they're so against vivimancy, but then Crowther uses Helena to uses her vivimancy to heal his like tortured prisoners and things like that, and it's like, oh, so you only believe in the good side publicly. Final thing, I'm just going to go through my tabs. The present day, when Helena said, "Do I know you?" after the transference session, and Kane said, "I suppose you do." Can we just talk about how painful it must have been for him? It must have been. He's not real, but like, imagine how painful it would have been. Imagine. After all the pain they went through in the war, he spent 14 months searching for the love of his life, only for her to come back and she can't remember him, and he has to go back into the cold, heartless person he was at the beginning, when they first met. This is also a parallel, but when Helena says that Kane has a natural talent for healing, and that in another life he could have been a healer, and he said one of life's great ironies. You made me feel like the parts of me that aren't useful still deserve to exist, like I'm not just all the things I can do. Sometimes she wished she'd died in the hospital with her father, to be remembered and mourned for her possibilities, rather than live day by day growing even lesser. Now it didn't matter if she'd been an alchemist or a healer or anything else. To anyone who'd ever learn of it, she would only be that one thing. This is specifically it. Women were always defined by the lowliest thing they could be called. I thought that was a very poignant message. When she can kill him, she's in the position to kill him, and he tells her to do it, and she doesn't even realise that he knows that's what she was meant to do, and she knew that Ilva and Crowther knew that that was what she was meant to do, but she didn't realise. Someday, she promised herself, someday I'm going to love him in a moment that isn't stolen. When they're making the bomb, and Kane goes, which of us has hands steady enough to build a bomb? They're both so damaged from the war. She doesn't deserve to be forgotten like this. She shouldn't be a footnote. Damn straight, she shouldn't be a fucking footnote. And then obviously, she was an elected member of the Eternal Flame and did not fight. And that is my reading vlog for Alchemised. Again, emphasising 5-star read, 6-star read. You absolutely should read it if you haven't already. Sorry if I spoiled it all for you. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed my first reading vlog. Comment down below if you've read Alchemised, or if not, if you are going to read it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.